Hello and welcome to the Third and Long podcast, the only podcast for NFL punters. I'm your host, Grant Lee. Third and Long podcast is brought to you by topsport.com.au, Little Birdie TV, Punting Form, and the home of stand-up comedy, The Comics Lounge. What another amazing week we had, another winning week for all the punters who followed Jerry and Toprope. So time to introduce Nick Tedeschi, my BFF, pro punter, and the master behind the tips package, to the house. Welcome, Toprope. How are you, mate?
It's great to be here, Grant. Looks like we're on a two-man show again. We've lost our American compadre here. It's we're ready to rock and roll again for a big week 6.
Mate, this is definitely not the time to say anything about the storms that they have had over in Miami, or make a little bit of a joke about it. We'll leave that there, but we anticipate seeing Jerry next week, but it's just you and me, mate. So let's get straight into the hot topics. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest brand in the biggest league in the world. They've now beaten both of the Super Bowl teams from last year. 4th straight win with backup QB Cooper Rush. Mate, are the Cowboys the real deal?
Yeah, look, I was on the Cowboys pre-season. I know you're pretty low on them, Grant, but I absolutely think they're the real deal. What I particularly liked is kind of the astute coaching that we've kind of seen over the last kind of 4 weeks, which we're not really used to having out of Dallas and with Mike McCarthy there, but they are playing it very, very smart. They're relying on their defence to get the job done. Not asking Cooper Rush to do too much, but he's doing more than enough. So I think they're the real deal, and we'll get to that game later on. But massive clash this week against the Eagles, but I certainly wouldn't be putting a line to the Cowboys this week.
There'll be a nice little party in my household this week, that's for sure. So a week ago, we saw probably the worst game I've seen in a long time. It was a game of just hot garbage. Wish I could have that 3 hours back. It's the first time ever that two multiple Pro Bowl quarterbacks playing against each other did not score. What did you think of the game?
I think it was bad, but it may well be topped by how bad today's Thursday night football game is as well. The Commanders against the Bears. So, absolute rubbish. So you have got to be, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you have got to be pulling your hair out. Don't you? Like the assets they gave up for a clearly done Russell Wilson. Like, I kind of bought into the hype a little bit. I was wrong. I don't know how Nathaniel Hackett has a job still. Like how they managed to throw that game away by throwing, by attempting to throw a pass into the end zone, late in that game when they could have run the clock. Astonishing. The mismanagement we've seen through 5 weeks has been insane. So, bad news at Denver and Indianapolis. Things aren't looking much better there. Matt Ryan is a shell of his former self. I think Frank Reich is hanging on by his fingernails to a job right now. So, you look back on it, how the hell did they beat the Kansas City Chiefs?
It fathoms me how. And that was the next thing I was going to ask you. We, as predicted on this show, Matt Rule was the first coach fired in the NFL. Who do you think will definitely be the next coach head coach fired?
It's an interesting one. Rule was absolutely the obvious choice. It wasn't only how badly Carolina had been playing, but how he'd been rubbing his players the wrong way. And you kind of get this with all these college coaches who come in and try and get full control and can't actually pull it off. We mentioned him earlier. I think Frank Reich has got to be in some danger at Indianapolis for the next coach to go. That division, is a poor division, but I can't see anyone else. They've got a couple of new head coaches in there, and Tennessee are making a move against Vrabel. So I think a lot of the bad teams have already made their coaching change. So I'd probably be looking at Frank Reich at the Colts as the next one to go.
So we spoke about it last week. The Beasts from the East, I think they're back. The Cowboys are 4-1. The Giants are 4-1. The Eagles are 5-0. Surely another week in the books. This is the best division in football.
I find it very hard to swallow that the NFC East is the best division in football. they've certainly had some good results. They've also benefited a lot from playing each other, which hasn't hurt. So, I know the Giants went over to London and beat the Packers. Not sure how they pulled that one off, but they did. Yeah, I thought the Eagles were very poor and were lucky to get away with that game against Arizona. I couldn't have it as the best division in football. I'm going to stick with the AFC West is the best division in football. I know we've seen some poor play from both Denver and the Raiders, but yeah, at the top end of that division, I think that is probably the best division in football. And if not, then maybe we are looking at the AFC East.
Speaking of the AFC West, Patrick Mahomes is now 22-3 in that division, and incredibly, he's an underdog at home for the first time in his career. Have the bookies got this one wrong?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a great matchup. We all remember the playoff matchup last year, and what a compelling game that was. I think they might have it wrong. Fun fact about Patrick Mahomes, 8-0 all-time as underdog. So much has been on the road, gets to do it at home this time. I think there might be a little bit of value there, and I think not a lot of respect being shown to the Chiefs here.
So we saw the biggest upset so far this year with the Jets smacking the Dolphins. Do you think we may have a QB controversy in New York town with Flacco and Zach Wilson?
No, I don't think anyone who wants to rely on thinks that Joe Flacco is the answer in 2022 has some issues. It will be riding the Zach Wilson wave, I think.
So I am in love with the 49ers. It's a pity half their team is injured. They're allowing the fewest yards per play in the NFL. They also lead the league in sacks, and they have the number one scoring defense with multiple starters out. Is this the best team in football at the moment?
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm not sure they're the best team in football because I just think their quarterback play is still fairly subpar. I know Garoppolo can do a job. I think the defense can carry them a long way. I love the way they're using Debo. I think they're very well coached. But best team in football, don't think they're the best team in football. I think I'd be looking towards the Bills or the Chiefs as a better team than the 49ers.
Now, with the first quarter of the season in the books, have you got a sneaky roughie for the Super Bowl?
Sneaky roughie for the Super Bowl. We'll just have a look at the standings here. Baltimore probably not so much a roughie, but I kind of like where they're trending. What about we go with your Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, that's a big one.
Cowboys $15. I think that they're a chance. And look, it's a huge price. I reckon they're to a huge price right now. The Cincinnati Bengals $41. I think that's a silly price. And I can have something on them. I know they haven't got the job done a lot this year, but I think that they are a better team than a $41 shot, that's for sure.
I think it's always Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, sneaky little roughies, and the 49ers for my like, I tell you, I think so. Look, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with To the House. Welcome back. Now it's time to The House, brought to you by topsport.com.au. Family owned and operated for 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with topsport.com.au. So, Toprope, let's have a quick look at the bookie wrap for week number 5. The favourites, mate, again.
Yeah, favourites hitting with that. We had a picking game, which is why there's only 15 games there. Favourites didn't cover, though. Only covered 5 of 15, so a good week for dog punters there. Total was should have been 8 from 16 there. And home teams have a very poor record as well last week, only winning 5 of 16 games.
So for all the punters out there that would already know, you had a winning week once again. Do you want to take us through all your bets for the week?
Yeah, we got the nose in front there. Hit 3 of 5 last week, up 1.87 units. A little bit unlucky on the back end there, not to get the cover with the Chiefs, but we hit the under to start the week. That was absolutely no danger whatsoever. Miami Jets game, never likely either. The Bills had a few problems covering the big line there. and the Cowboys Rams. I'm not sure there was a point scored in the second half, so it certainly wasn't looking much danger there either. So good week overall.
So with Jerry Shoebox, he had a great week, 3-1. Should have been 4-0, but he's gone against the Cowboys. So still the old Jerry there. So do you want to take us through Top Rope some of his key bets for the week?
Yeah, Jerry had the Pats. They have absolutely no dramas getting the job done there against Detroit, winning 29-0. The Rams were dreadful against the Cowboys last week. Texans did a great job. The +7 there in a real low score. They got the win against the Jags, and we were head to head on this one. The total in the Dolphins Jets game, and Jerry, of course, was right. He sailed over by 11 points. So well done to Jerry.
And so for all the punters out there that still have not jumped on board with these tips, you must be crazy. My account looks delicious and getting ready for Christmas. So head to the Little Birdie shop, guys, and jump on the boys' tips because they're outstanding and they put in a lot of work and effort each week to make it easier for you guys. So head straight to the shop and purchase the tips for the week. So let's jump straight into it, guys. We're lucky enough to have 7 matches this week, and match number 1 is a beauty. Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh, Monday, 4 a.m., ESPN. The line is Bucks -7.5, and the total is 45. So Steelers are a big home dog. How Kenny Pickett scored again? How's he going to score against the Bucks defense? Tom Brady has 141 completions. That is tied with the most in the NFL, and he's 45 years old. So, Top Rope, what do you say about this one?
Yeah, I like it. In terms of the total, we're playing the under in this one. There's a couple of angles here at play. Like I said, I don't know how Kenny Pickett scores or creates any offense for a team that's just really is lacking weapons. They've got a great record as a home underdog, but this isn't the Pittsburgh teams of yesteryear. This is a very different side here. So a few angles for the under here: 59-39 when there's a non-divisional home dog of 3.5 or more. 33-23 when Brady's on the road. Under as 5-1 when Pittsburgh at home. I would play the under here with a reasonable amount of confidence. Beautiful.
Thank you for that, Top Rope. So let's jump straight into game number 2. It's the New York Football Jets they're at Green Bay, Monday, 4 a.m., ESPN. The line is Packers -8. The total is 46. Everyone is in love with the Jets at the moment, including myself. 2 straight wins. I think the Packers, quite frankly, aren't as good as what they used to be, and they're coming back from London. So could this be the upset of the week, Top Rope?
No, not for mine. The Packers have been decidedly underwhelming this year as Rodgers tries to find a receiver he trusts, a receiver he likes. But I will say this, I've got to be on the minus here. Rodgers, 35-24-2 against the number as a home favourite with a touchdown or more. 50-25 against the spread at home off a road or a neutral game. Rodgers off a loss, 42-22-1 against the spread. And when LaFleur's been there, 10-1 against the spread off a loss. So I've got to be with the Packers on this one.
So game 3 down the road from Jerry's house. It's Minnesota at Miami, Monday, 4 a.m. on 7 Mate. The line is Vikings -4. The total is 46 points. Can we trust Teddy Bridgewater to hold down the QB spot at the moment? So the Vikings defense is suspect, and now they head to Miami and they're going to be playing in the hot sun. So Kirk Cousins has led the league with 3 game-winning drives. Can they get it done this week, Top Rope?
Yeah, probably lean towards Minnesota without any real confidence in this one. Road favourites of more than a field goal of not covering, 29-16 against the spread. And the team's off a loss to the Jets, just 2-10 against the spread, so that's a play against Miami. So leaning towards Minnesota. Not confident. I find them a very unreliable proposition. Even against the Bears last week, they were cruising. And all of a sudden, they found themselves behind at one stage, so late in the game. So it was I'll be on Minnesota, a bit small.
All right, so match 4, it's a divisional game. Arizona at Seattle, Monday, 7:05 on 7-Mate. The line is Cardinals -2, and the total is 50. Like I said, a divisional game. The Cards seem really dysfunctional at the moment. They've got some things missing, and quite frankly, like you said before, they should have beaten the Eagles. I think the Seahawks are a good team. I think they're better without Russell Wilson, just quietly. And what say you, Toprope?
Yeah, I'm with Seattle on this one. I'm home division dogs, 51-37 against the spread. Division dogs, 16-12 against the spread. Seattle very good for loss, 40-19-4 against the number. Kingsbury very good on the road, but they have failed to cover their last 4 division games. I'm going to be with Seattle here. I think Gino can. And what will be a fairly uninspiring game, I reckon he can guide them to a win here.
So match 5 is the big one. The one that I'm looking forward to the most is Buffalo at Kansas City, Monday, 7:25 a.m. ESPN. The line, incredibly, the Bills -3. The total is 54. Look, I think the Bills are very dependent on Josh Allen. I don't think they have a running game. They can only win one way, which is a blowout, and they will not be able to do that this week against the Chiefs. The Chiefs lead the NFL in first downs. I cannot wait for this game, and I remember the playoff game. Where should we put our dollars on this one, Toprope?
Yeah, it should be an absolute ripper, like I mentioned earlier in the show, leaning towards the Chiefs here. Home has never failed to cover as an underdog. The Chiefs, they've covered 7 of the last 10 against winning teams. The Bills, look, they're great. They've covered 15-20 on us, 20-30 plus, but they've covered just 2 of 80 against winning teams. So what I'm kind of saying there is they're beating up on the bad teams. Very impressive doing that, but maybe struggle a bit against the better side. So lean towards the Chiefs. Best bet, though, the over. I think there'll be plenty of points. It's a high total here, but the over is hit in 10 of 13 Chiefs games, 8 of 11 off a win, 5 of 7 off scoring 30 plus, and hit in 11 of the last 14 Bills games played on grass. So
this will be the biggest game in my suburb this week. The kids are given the day off school. Sorry about that, teachers. It is match 6, Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia, Monday, 11:20 a.m. ESPN. The line, Eagles are -6.5, and the total is 42. I don't want to be a Cowboys homer, but I am. The Cowboys' defense is outstanding at the moment, and they've held all 5 of their opponents to a touchdown. They have scored in 13 consecutive quarters with a backup QB, which is quite amazing. Are the Eagles a Super Bowl team? Who have you got on this one, mate? Make me happy.
Yeah, mate, very happy. Depends if me riding the team you're on is the path to happiness. But I'm all over the Cowboys here. I think this number is way too big. Great angle to play here as well. Underdogs, week 1 to 8, with the totals less than 42. 50-27-1 against the spread. The Cowboys have covered 17 of their last 23, 22 of 29 division games. They've covered 7 of their last 9 against Philadelphia. I'm not convinced about the Eagles. I reckon Dallas are a great play. So match number 7, Borco, cue up that Monday night theme music, mate. It is Denver at LA Chargers, Tuesday, 11:15 a.m. ESPN. The line is Chargers -5.5, and the total is 46. Another divisional game. I heard during the week that Russell Wilson did get surgery. Did he? If he did, now he's playing in a football game, which blows my mind. And the Chargers have weapons on offense. I think they're outstanding. So could this be the battle of the worst coaches in the league, Toprope? Yeah, I'm happy to give Staley a pass on this. The worst coach in the league is definitely on the Denver Broncos sideline. No doubt about that. Look, got to lean towards the Chargers here. The Herbert injury is a bit of a concern, but they've covered 8 of 11 division games, 4 of the last 5 overall. Denver, look, an absolute mess, and they've failed to cover 5 straight road games. I'll be on the Chargers.
Thank you for all that inside, Toprope. So, guys, be sure to check out littlebirdie.live in the Little Birdie store. You can find To the House and the Shoebox. It's available for $22 a week. if you're serious about being an NFL punter or you want to show off to your mates, get into the store and purchase the packages, guys. So now it's time for my old favorite segment, because now I'm losing. So it's a charity bet time, and as you can see from the results there, I was pipped by a point, which I'm pretty shattered about. And how did you go, Toprope?
Yeah, well, I was in absolutely no danger whatsoever. The Bills had that 14 points covered a long way out home to Pittsburgh.
So I can tell everyone at home too. So now Toprope is leading the way at 4-1. I'm at 3-2, and Jerry's at 3-2. So we're lucky each week. We do get given $100 by topsport.com.au for our charity bets. So this week, who did you go for, Toprope?
Well, I have to look who I texted you last night. I've gone with the Jags. Jags plus 2.5 against the Colts. The Colts have an awful record. There's no bigger domination in football than the Jags over the Colts. They've covered 14 or 15 in the last 15 head-to-head matches. So I'll be with the Jags on this one.
So I have to get back on the winners board for the Royal Children's Hospital. I've gone Atlanta plus 5. Jerry for the Lost Dogs home in North Melbourne. He's gone the Browns minus 2.5. So good pick there, Jerry, because that is my second. Was basically I was teeing up that one as well. So hopefully, boys, we can get back on the especially me and Jerry, get back on the winners list there. And Nick, you just keep riding the winners bus, buddy. That's and killing it. So. The ankle breakers competition. So we had our winner for week 5 was Pete Roberts. He tipped the Ravens by 7. Congratulations there, Pete. Well done. So, guys, this week the match is going to be the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Once again, for people who haven't entered, you must be crazy. You should do that straight away. And it's quite easy. You basically, to enter, you enter which team is going to win and by what margin. So, for example, in my house, week 6, I have the Cowboys winning by 73 points. Be sure to put that on your socials and on our socials at Twitter, littlebirdie.tv, and at Third and Long TV. So, to qualify, you must basically tag one friend as well. Look, I'd tag a few. And just put in one entry per week. So, Toprope, thank you once again, mate. It's your insight in the NFL is sensational. We do miss you, Jerry. Hurry up and come back. But thank you once again, Toprope. And that's a wrap for our 6th show of the season. So remember to hit the shop, Little Birdie Live, to subscribe to the tips package from Jerry or Toprope. You can follow us on YouTube. You'll also find us on Apple Store, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you haven't already done it, follow us on Twitter at littlebirdie.tv, Third and Long TV, and you can also do that on Instagram. And remember, punters, for all your NFL action, head to topsport.com.au. Invest wisely, punters, and enjoy week 6.